father that was questioned again, November 17, 2020. Man, you know, growing up with somebody your whole life and then one day they just not being here, it's just crazy. You know, like, yeah, I lost my grandmother. You might get a phone call, hey, your great aunt, such and such passed. You know what I mean? But, you never expect to get, a phone call saying that, you lost your brother. You know, like, I was born, like, he was born, like, I watched him be born. I watched him, like, from a baby all the way to a man, you know.
Your mom passed away. You were 8, and Vernon, you were 18?
18.
So how was it for you, like, being a child?
I never forget when it happened. I remember where I was. I remember how it happened. And I don't recall if I fully said in the last, but I was actually on my way to school.
I was on my way to a job interview.
And I actually went into the room that she was in. And actually, like, she was literally in the process of taking her last breath, and I did not know. And I heard her, like, pretty much gasping for air. But I just, being 8, I didn't know that what was going on. I just thought she wasn't feeling well, like maybe she was half asleep. But I do recall, like, saying, like, "Mommy, I'll see you later, I love you." And her not responding. And then maybe 10 or 11 o'clock, my grandfather and them coming to get me from school. And my cousin Antoine was there. And my grandfather took us to the store. And Antoine was the one that told me, and I was like, "No, you're lying." He was like, "Watch, wait and we see." Now, mind you, we're 8, so he was 7 at the time. So he didn't understand, like, can't break it like that.
Right.
But it was really hard. Thinking, like, "No, I know he lying. He's playing a trick. Like, that's me." And then getting there, and they all telling me, and my mother died at my aunt's house, because that's where we were staying. And I never forget, like, when we got there, like, my mother was still there. And they were waiting for the coroner to come to get her. And then they made us go outside. And I recall my aunt there was a porch, but there was a little open area. And me and Antoine stood inside. And I remember them bringing her out on the stretcher. And she was in a body bag. And, like, after then, I recall being at my cousin Wanda's house and riding. Actually, I wasn't riding, I was walking. And I was just looking at this guy telling God, like, how much I hated him. Because, like, even though my mother had even though she had a problem, like, she loved both of us very much. And we had a really close bond with her. Really, really close bond with her. And just, like, knowing that that type of love was taken away from me. And then ever since then, it was just like, I wasn't sure where, like, I never felt that same kind of love.
Never will.
Never will. That's truly unconditional. And granted, like, my son loves me and he has a different kind of love, but to not.
Nothing like that, mama love.
No, and there's so many things that I wish she could have been here for. I could have talked to her about. As I said previously, I'm still very thankful for what my aunt has done and taking me in when pretty much I had no one else, but I've never still to this day experienced that type of love that my mother provided. And it's been hard, but for me, knowing what she went through and then seeing what my brother's gone through and goes through, I most definitely like steered away from that, because being on this side of it, not having her, and then honestly, like, me and my brothers talked about it, like, him not being able to be there for me when I needed him, because he couldn't. Because, like, he had his addiction. So, like, it's been tough. It's been tough. But I continue to push forward because I know there's much more. And I know that life can turn around in an instant for better. And there's been good moments in my life, of course. Memories, great memories that I have. And I just pray that God continues to keep my brother so he and I can experience many, many, many more.
Amen.
And that has been, like, I pray for my brother every single day. A full protection over him, a full body of armor. And, like, he and I joke about it. Like, I told him, like, you don't understand, like, God was meant for you to be here, because...
I was always close to him because we were only 10 years apart, and I really looked up to him. So every time I went to my grandmother's house, I would try to be in his room, play with his toys. He would never let me play with his toys, even though he didn't play with them, because I guess he didn't want him to get lost. But I used to just look up to him. Like, he would play the game, I just sitting there with him. And then when we grew up, well, when I grew up more, I started to hang around him more and go play. Like, he would take me places and stuff.
And just with him, like, he was very goal oriented, you know, and I watched him set those goals early, as he found his way, you know, through middle school to high school, and then he started setting them goals, and then he started knocking them goals down, and I was proud of him. He got his car, and he got his job, and he didn't want to let go of that job or that car, and he worked hard, and he was just like the type of person who, if I asked for $1, I'm like, yo, you know that $1 that I got on the dresser in the house, right, that we just walked past? He said, yeah. I'm like, well, when we get back in the house, I get that $1 to you if you give me $1 now, so I could get anything, you know what I mean? So I can put it to this and get diapers for my daughter, so we can get this tire that's flat, our tire flat, man. We need an extra $1. Like, give me $1. He wouldn't give you that $1, man. Even if he knew it was there. Like, that's how he was saving his money, you know. He wanted his car, and he got it, but then he lost it, and he lost a little bit of himself, and then he lost his job, and he lost a little bit of himself, and we saw the changes in him, man. But we all of us thought that this was something that was going to be okay, just for the moment, and then he gonna be back, you know, he gonna be back. And then we started accepting it as, oh, that's just Ian, that's just how Ian is, you know. But to this day, I still just think of my brother as, because anybody that know him knows he don't answer the phone, not on the first 3 rings anyway, first 3 calls, I mean. So to this day, I still think of him as in his bed. He's in his room asleep. He's just not answering the phone. But I can't even say and imagine. I mean, explain that day. I can't even explain that day. because I wasn't there. It was like I was just watching everything happen. I wasn't there. I mean that don't make sense. It might not make sense to some. But I know what I'm trying to say. You know, it just was crazy. And then I'm dealing with that, and everybody in the back, everybody's mind. I say I'm in a program, and everybody's mind, they like, man, I know they praying I don't fall back into using heavy, you know. They like, man, we just lost my brother, and what we lost him to was, I didn't even say it, like, when my other brother found him in the bed, he overdosed. You know, like he overdosed. And so part of me, I'm like, it's just like, what? Like, cause it came out of nowhere, man. Like, it came out of nowhere. Like even LJ, like, he was drinking and he tried to stop drinking, but then he started drinking again. And he go out one night to a party, or he had too much to drink, jumped the median, and then I got that call. But that was first, you know, that was a few years before. But it's just like, it's a cycle, you know. It's like almost a cycle. It's saying like all of us, believe it or not, man, all of us are self-medicating. All of us. It's just we do it different, you know. Like, and when I say us, I mean the 6 kids who grew up in that house. You know, the 6 kids who grew up together in that house, in that family, and my mother included. We all self-medicate. It's just, some of us just did it wrong. It's like my mother, like, you know, she deals with her pain in her own ways. You know, like, she might not eat, or she might blame herself for things, you know. My sister's kind of the same way. She blame herself for things, or she might question why this happened, why this couldn't happen, why didn't she see this? But it's not for us to question, you know. And it's definitely not for us to question, I guess. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm conditioned to say that, but it's just been tough, you know. And if you feel like, you know, you need to use drugs, or you need to prove something to somebody, or you want to do it just because, oh, I'm just gonna do it, I'm at this party, like, you never know the effect that it have on you. Or, you know, you might take something at a gathering, or one particular time, and that time may be the time that take your life. You know, you don't know what you your body's equipped to handle. And the crazy thing now was like, people like putting anything in these drugs out here, and it's like, even the weed. Like, they making pills, whereas though you think you safe because it's coming from a manufactured pharmaceutical company, and the whole time it's not. It's coming from somebody's basement. You know, they just pressing pills, making it look like, you know, the real thing. But if you just feel like, if you feel like that's the answer, it's not. You just get help. Just, you know, talk to somebody. That's the best thing you can do. Like for me, when I talk about things, it helps me to get through. It helps me to cope. It helps me feel better. Believe it or not. Even when I lost my daughter, just after losing my brother, I lost him on the 17th of November, and I lost my daughter on December 28th. You know, and I'm like, dang, excuse my language, but it's back to back. Like it's listed as January 5th, but you know, you're a parent, you know your child, and when I walked into that hospital room, I just knew that she was gone. Despite 7 days of effort, trying to put that light back in her eyes. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm having to be strong. That's all it is. So, prayer's been working, and talking will really help you. Like, talk to people.
So, you said your gateway went from pills to heroin. Was it like a progression? And what do you think your rock bottom was? Because looking at you, you know, it's like you're functioning. Somebody might not think that your life has struggles, but how many years has this been in?
It started Thanksgiving Day 2015. And the only reason I remember that is because it was Thanksgiving and where I was at, where I was living at that time. You know, you remember places, smells, and things, and that's the first time that I did that drug. You know, I remember it. My rock bottom, man. My rock bottom was when I was in public. I was in public one time. I was coming from Harford County, and I was sick. You know they say you're ill or whatever. I was throwing up into a baby wipes container, and the girl I was dealing with, I just told her I was sick. Just you do a lot of lying in your addiction, and once we got, we trying to get in the city. She was dropping her kids off at school, and I felt so bad that I just didn't care. Like, as soon as we got into the city, we were on I think like Patterson Park or something. I told her, I said, look, you ride over and take your big son to school, and I'll take the little ones to school, because we stopped right by their school. She said, all right, cool. So I said, come back and get me, and then we'll finish our day. So I jump out the car with the two little ones. She keeps riding with the big one. I walk down the street, I sign them in, walk them to their class, come back outside, walk up the street, find the first person with it. And he was looking at me like I'm asking him for a blow. He like, what? No, I don't have nothing. I'm like, why he telling me no? But then I'm thinking, like, look at you, you don't look like you do that. You know what I'm saying? So I walk back, walking around, like walking fast, like I ain't never walked this fast. Found somebody with it. It was only $5. I gave him a $10 bill, walked away, went into the liquor store, got some water, sat on the steps of the front of the liquor store, people walking their kids to school. people driving past. I sat right on the steps of that liquor store, God.
So I want to say something to the kids, or to teenagers, or to, to anybody that may be struggling with depression, anxiety, or just maybe you're not getting good grades in school, you're being bullied, or something happens to you that you deem traumatic or upsetting, and go to your parents and, just talk about it. Talk therapy is really, really good. Talk to your coach, talk to a counselor, talk to your aunt, talk to your uncle, your big cousin, maybe even a sibling. Talk to somebody. Let them know how you feel. There's no reason, for you to hold in any trauma or anything you might be going through. I mean, maybe you don't have the nicest clothes, you're not fitting in, or whatever. Anything that brings you anxiety. Maybe you're angry with your mother, so go talk to somebody else about that. Or you're angry with your father, go talk to your mother, because your mother will listen to you. You have an opinion, you have a voice, so there's ways that you can deal with what you're going through. You do not have to medicate. You do not have to take pills. You don't have to smoke marijuana. You don't have to do any of that, because they're lacing even marijuana with fentanyl. It got into our country, guys, and it's cheaper. Fentanyl is cheaper. So cheaper than oxycodone or some of the other drugs. So what they're doing, they're actually making fentanyl pills, the whole pill. And then they're, of course, lacing the pills, lacing marijuana with it. You just never know what you're putting into your body. And don't do it. Don't do it, because you could, there's a time when you can do it, you think you're feeling good, and then all of a sudden you're asleep and you never wake up. And that's exactly what happened to my son.
Then he just started acting like different. Like he wouldn't answer the phone. I would text him, he wouldn't text back. But then he'll be at Gigi's house. But then he'll leave. He'll leave after like an hour. He'll leave after an hour. And I'm just like, you barely was here. Like, why are you leaving? And he'd just be like, I had to go do something. And now that I'm thinking about it, he was just taking drugs. He started taking drugs. And that's why he would leave more. He would leave so fast. And it all started making sense. So
how does it feel to have to live without him now?
sad. Every day I wake up and think about him and think about the last memories I had. It just sucks that he's not here no more.
And how do you think it's impacted your life? How's your life changed in the last couple months?
It made me depressed. It made me not want to wake up and do anything. It made me, I just don't know.
So as a child, what message do you have for, just looking, it's hard to look up to somebody and then now they're not here. So what would you say to your fellow peers about, if they're in a situation and they feel like they want to turn to drugs? And then just anybody that's doing it now, to how it feels from a child's perspective.
Don't do it. You're gonna hurt your family. You're gonna hurt your family. You shouldn't do that, and it's gonna ruin your life. You're not gonna have a good life.
And I've heard about it all over the news. I heard about a 16-year-old boy who tried it. He went online, he looked it up, and he decided he was going to try that. So he went and bought these pills from some guy that's selling them, and he never woke up. I also read about parents whose sons were going to a party after the prom. They went to this party, never taken pills. But they joined in with the crowd. They decided they want to take some pills, and people have access to pills. They're easily accessible. You just never know. There could be somebody standing next to you right now that has a Connect, or maybe they even have the pills, because they're getting them everywhere, anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
He know what he done been through.
Yes.
I done heard some stuff.
Yes.
And people tell me, yeah, somebody killed your brother, and I'm like, what?
Not even a month ago.
Yeah,
Not even a month ago, I caught
recently.
him 2 to the head.
So like it's been tough. It's been tough. But by God's good graces and his mercy, like he's still here.
Amen.
I'm still here. And I just pray that
My
we
life
continue
is
to go
fucked
forward.
up, but I'm thankful for it. I'm really thankful for it because it's a reason. I'm here for a reason. It's been many a days and thousands of dollars.
And Vernon, you're a dad. My father struggled with drug addiction my whole life. And as a kid, you know, I didn't understand. I'm like, why is he not here? He says he's coming. But as an adult, I know that when you're suffering with a disease, you wake up.
It's not him.
Yeah, you're thinking about.
It's not him. It's the drugs. It's not him. Drugs turn you into a complete different person. I mean, like I said, I done everything but suck the dick, sold my ass. I mean, I done robbed, I done stole, I probably done killed. It's not me. That's not me. That's not my character. It's not.
I can attest that my brother is one of the kindest, giving people you will ever meet. Like facts. Like even in his circle right now, like I don't even know who's on the phone one day, but he was like, I just gotta tell you, like, your brother's a good dude. Like, your brother's a good dude, even with his addiction. Like, and that's just who he is. It's just that, again, trauma, losing someone so close to you can really, like...
Fuck you up.
Yeah.
Fuck you up real
Yeah.
bad. Real bad.
If you can go back, you know, you chose in your trauma to deal with it to self-medicate. If you could go back, what would you have done differently?
Kept my ass in school. Stayed in school. And I wouldn't have picked up that first pack. And it all starts with them packs. First you sell it, then you want to try it. And that's when it all went left. That's where it all went left. So again, if you're thinking about it, don't think about it. Train yourself to think otherwise because it's not fun. It's not easy. It's a job. It's a job on top of a job. I mean, it's more to it than just sniffing it, laying back, thinking you're gonna feel good. Because every time I put it in me, it's a gamble. Every time. Like I said, it takes 5 or 6 to get high, but 1 to take your weight, man. And thank God I haven't got that 1 yet. So, but I'm on the path to get myself together. I'm going to this program, get my shit right, be there for my grandson, my nephew, my sister. I got kids of my own. Well, I don't have no kids. I got humans. I got grown people. But like I said, just don't pick it up. It won't get in you.
And tell them how hard it is to stop. Like you can't just...
You can't stop. You can't. You need help. Now you need help to stop. I mean, you need medication to get off this. I mean, if you try to self-medicate yourself and go through the withdrawals, you're going to end up right back out on the streets, either in the streets or in a box. So the best thing to do is don't pick it up. If you don't pick it up, it won't get in you. And you won't have to go through the shit I'm going through. Believe me, every day, I think about it every day. I wish I wouldn't have did it. I wish I wouldn't have did it. I wish I wouldn't have did it. It's not easy. You know, I have to get out here and make at least $100 a day, every day, just so I can feel better. That's not even to get high. That's just to feel better. Every day. And I don't have a job. I don't sell dope. I don't sell coke. I'm not going to say the things I do on camera, but they're not pleasant.
I didn't care who seen me. I just wanted to feel better. And people like, like even other addicts, they like, well, you going hard, ain't you? Like, I wouldn't even do that. I've been getting high for 36 years, 40 years, 50 years. And I'm looking at them like, if you don't shut up and get out my face, I didn't care. And like I said, people ride by, girls, people walking their kids, pulling them like, what the heck? Like, I just didn't care. And I knew that was my rock bottom.
Was that when you were using needles at that point?
Intravenously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what has the effects of that been?
I had to get a surgery for I had to get a skin debridement. I'm not sure which one, cause my arms had sores on them. I got fluid in my hands, so they look swollen all the time. Sometimes they go down, sometimes it comes up because of the low circulation in my hands. And I'm blessed to say that that's it.
Right. Okay, so I know when you came to us to tell us that you had been struggling with this for the last, like, I think you said 4 years, I never knew. Also with Ian, it's like everybody around me, like his friends, and like they knew what he was going through, and I didn't. I just chalked it up to that's him. He anxious. He said he was sweating all the time. He was hot all the time because of his hair, his dreads. He used to tell me that all the time. Even his last couple days of life, when I came to him about like, why are you falling asleep? And then he told me he was sleepy, and you know, I don't know if it's because that's your family or what, but like, what are the signs? Like, what are some signs that you can see?
You see, like, he never told me any of that stuff. That he sweat because of hair and stuff like that. Like, first, when we talked about drugs, it was always him telling me that I let him down, or by doing what I did, you know. And then, but I know, like, the last week or so, he was like, he called me and was telling me.
So as again, don't pick it up and won't get in.
Life is hard. Life is hard. Like, there's no sugarcoating it. Life is just, it's just what it is. There's good moments, there are bad moments.
Mm.
But the bad moments are only exactly what they are. They're moments.
The good moments and memories.
Mm-hmm. And it may take some time to like get through those storms, but you will get through them.
You gotta go
Without
through
doubt.
it to get to it.
Yes.
You gotta go through it to get to it.
There's no storm that ever lasted forever. So if you're in one,
Put your umbrella.
Yes.
Just put your umbrella.
Exactly.
That's all. Put your
Exactly.
umbrella.
Don't try to, like he said, self-medicate, do something to make you feel good while you're in that storm, because that prolongs your
You're
storm.
gonna prolong the agony. That's all you're doing. Best thing to do is just go get help. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some help.
So I have one more question, Vernon. My brother, one of my brothers came to us a couple years ago, said he was doing heroin for the last 4 years. I couldn't tell at all. My baby brother that just passed away, I didn't even know he was addicted to pills. I just thought he had anxiety, he was silly. What are some warning signs that you can see?
Flu-like symptoms: sweat, anxiety, fatigue, laziness. I mean,
Agitation.
agitation, aggravation. I mean,
Snapping.
yeah, snapping, and always needing money. I mean, everybody need money, but the amount of money that I spend is ridiculous. I mean, I done spent enough money to buy 2 Bentleys and a Rolls. And a Rolls. Shit, I just went through $20,000 in 45 days. Unemployment gave me $21,000. And what is this? What month is this?
March.
March. They gave me $21,000 in January, and I'm fucking broke. I'm fucking broke. Unbelievable. So, don't pick it up. For God's sake, don't pick it up. if you did, it's the worst mistake you'll ever make in your life. Cause once you get that monkey on your back, you turn into a gorilla, and you gotta feed him. You gotta feed him. Cause if you don't, he's gonna kill you.
And I just want everyone to know that for my brother, because we've had this conversation where with that monkey, he feels like no one loves him. Like nobody.
Yeah, and
nobody
that's another
with me.
thing. When you fucking with this shit, not only do it affect you, it affects everybody around you. I mean, you think it just deals with you. It affects everybody around you, your whole circle. So you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting everybody.
And believe me when I tell you, your family loves you. Your family most definitely loves you.
Yeah. You just don't like that monkey.
Exactly. Because that's hardened to all of us.
Yeah.
So what will be your final takeaway? Like your final word that you want to leave with the audience?
For me, again, just know that your storm is not forever. Your family does love you. You have, even if it's somebody you just met, know that they care about you. There are people in the world that care about you. I am an empath. I care about everybody. I love everybody. And I pray that everyone has the healing that they need. And it will get better. You just have to power forward.
He called me that last week. It was just like he was talking crazy. He was like, yeah, man, I started back messing with the millies. So I know what that means. Like he started popping pills again. So I'm like, bro, why you doing that? So he like, I don't know, yo. I'm not really doing it. Then he tried to downplay it. So I'm like, how you gonna call me and wild me out for doing what I'm doing? But then now you talking about you taking pills again. I'm like, yo, can you just chill? Like for real, chill. Then I left him a voicemail, like asking him what are you running from? Like what what can't you talk about? Like why are you doing that? Like why is it that serious that you need to buy pills and put them in a little container and collect them and all? Like what are you doing? You trying to sell them? Like what's up with you? But he would always tell me, no, bro, it ain't like that. Yeah, I got it. I'm just hustling. I got this. I'm getting my money right. Like he would always beat around the bush and start talking about money, and then so I knew he like you can't tell me that you messing with pills again, and then you tell me no, it ain't like that. I'm just trying to get my money right. I'm not like what happened to you messing with the pills. It's not gonna go away. It's in my head. I'm already knowing. So like the signs like honestly like all that nodding and stuff like yeah like why you under the influence or something. Like if you keep like doing it, like you doing all this, you know, and then you get back up and then you doing this, and we know you ain't just like work no 12 hours 16-hour shift, you know, and get like you high. Like come on, like all that sneaking off, you know, not wanting to be around people. I mean, it could be several reasons why you don't want to be around. Like me, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like now, like I get into this mode now where it's just like sometimes I just don't want to be around anybody. I wake up thinking about my brother and my daughter, and it's just I just be like, you know, just leave me alone. I lay in the bed all day, but I'm not alone. You know, like it's 3 other people in the house with me, so. That my alone is just I'ma lay in this bed and I'll deal with these 3 people if they come in here. But if not, I'm not answering my phone. I might text you and let you know what's going on. Sometimes I have those days, but it's not like a disappear, nobody knows where I'm at type of thing. Cause I can't do that. I can't do that. I just refuse. I refuse to see my mother like that again, or have her like that again. And it be my fault. And then like last week, I think it was last week. I was at my sister's and my nephew and me. We were watching a movie in the basement eating pizza, and I dozed off, and he like hit me, like shook me, like, and I looked at him, and he looked at me. Then he just started watching TV again, like, and I know why. You know what I'm saying? Like he was with my brother that whole weekend, and he was high. And even though I just dozed off, you know what I'm saying? I can't blame him for feeling that way because of what he saw. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know, let me just sit up and just try to stay woke, watch the whole movie, and I did. You know, but I don't know, man. Like, it's trauma. It's trauma. But those are the signs, like, you know, somebody keep going in the bathroom, or they keep dipping off, leaving, or they keep they nodding and slurring and forgetting what y'all just talked about. You know that there's something is wrong. Something is wrong. They repeating themselves, asking you the same things over and over. Talking with their eyes closed, like they under the influence, and it's time for you to do something. It's time for them to do something.
So what's your final takeaway to the audience and the kids watching?
Yeah, that's a good one. Honestly, just, I mean, most importantly, cherish everybody while they're here. You know, tell everybody that you love them. Tell everybody that you love them every chance you get. Show them that you love them every chance you get. And if you see any signs, don't keep secrets. Let it be known, because it could save them. I really don't know. I mean, I guess y'all have to decide your own takeaways from this. But just if you in my shoes, don't suffer in silence, man. Just it's better that somebody knows. Just speak up. You know, it's getting to the point now. It's phony anyway, man. It's being out there in the streets like that, using, it's phony. It's not fun. So, I mean, so many other things you could be doing. You know, that can give you that same exhilarating feeling. You understand what I'm saying? Like, but that's it. I mean, that's all I can tell you.
So, if you want to live and you want to be a blessing, and if you don't want to put your parents through the worst pain that they could ever face, man, don't do it. It's too dangerous. Just point blank. Don't follow your friends doing what they're doing. There was a guy who had come over to visit Ian, my son, a few days after he passed away, maybe a couple days. He was looking for Ian. And he pulled up to the house. He asked my husband, hey, is Ian in? And my husband said, Ian passed away. And this guy fell to his knees. We don't know who he is now to this day, but he fell to his knees because he said, I was just with Ian. Well, we were all just with Ian. We were all just with Ian. My grandson, Jaden, was just with Ian. My daughter was just with Ian. You know, my husband was just with Ian. He said Ian came down and hugged him and talked to him about some deep things, you know. And then Ian went upstairs, took his pills, and he never woke up again. So I wouldn't try that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't, don't put your parents, your teachers, your friends, your loved ones through that type of agony, because it's never going to leave me. Never going to leave me. So I wouldn't recommend that you do anything like that.
He should still be here because he had a job, he had a car, and once he lost all that, he just wasn't him anymore. He started doing stuff that he shouldn't have been doing.
He should still be here because he was too smart. And I feel like he gave up. I just feel like he gave up.
I like your hair that way.
Are you taking a picture?
Video.
What's for IG?